Yo, call me Mario Wonder the way my drill is inside your, oh god, hair. Welcome back to the game today, and only today, we are here to do a quick discussion about the latest Super Mario Wonder Direct. That's right, we just finished watching it, so I figured we would do what we always do and go ahead and just analyze and talk about this trailer, right? Obviously, we don't have to go through the entire presentation, but I want to at least go through the highlights here, right? So first of all, right away, again, just beautiful. Just I cannot stop like looking at this game and talking about how beautiful it looks. I love the art style and everything, and obviously just, you know, giving my overall thoughts quickly on the presentation. I adored it. I thought it was very quick pace. I think it went over the mechanics of the game very well without spoiling too much. It showed, you know, what's fresh about it, what's new, and it got us more excited. You know, it never felt like it was like, oh, this is way too much. It felt like you're telling me what I need to know, and you're showing me why this is going to be one of the most exciting entries in all of Mario in general. But obviously, we start here with the opening cutscene where a dead-ass Bowser just turns into a castle. This is not like, you know, this is not a thing of like, yeah, it's like he is, you know, in the castle. He deadass is the castle, which is such a interesting premise, you know, for a Mario game. But yeah, and obviously I love what they're doing here with the piranha plants, how fucking crazy and menacing they look. In general, like that Bowser's Fury influence, right, of just how everything is so much more aggressive with Bowser, which I really love so much. You know, I love that so much about the game. So we get a look, you know, at this opening over here where Bowser pulling up with the gang, and of course you see, you know, the kingdom getting, you know, captured and all this stuff, blah blah blah, the typical stuff, and then the gang pulls out on a journey. But we obviously get the first tease here of Toadette joining the gang, which I love so much that she's in that. I'm gonna talk about that when they get into the characters. And we get Yoshi's, and we get our first look at Nabbit the rabbit in the game, back at it again. I didn't think he was gonna come back on, so I really thought he was done. So, but yeah, so here we go, Mario Wonder Direct. They go over the world map a little bit. Now, some of these things we've seen before, right? So they talk about the Flower Kingdom really quickly. We've seen this area before in the first direct. We've seen this area again. Now we know what these little pellets are. They're actually badge challenges, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the presentation. We get the look at the jungle, and I think what I adore about this game is it took the like level themings that we typically see in Mario games, because I think this has been a big complaint for a while, is that Mario games have this sort of template of, you know, grass, desert, water, sky, right? And this game kind of has that, but what's so interesting is how they've displayed it, you know what I mean? So we have World 1 here, Pop Right Plateau, World 2, Fluff Puff Peaks, World 3, Shining Falls, question mark. So we have 7 worlds in here, but actually later in the presentation we actually see that there's 8. So here's the first area in the game, just looking beautiful, the Pipe Rock Plateau, gorgeous. Again, just the variety of like backgrounds in World 1, and even here, right? Second world, you start with a snow level out here, and then you go right away into a beautiful like sun looking place over here with, you know, sunsets, and you get some beautiful clouds out here. Then you get the jungle area, which again, instead of a typical jungle, you have these beautiful waterfalls in the background with these looks. It just looks so beautiful, man. I'm so thankful for everything about this game's art style, and Nintendo really took it to heart, the feedback about everything. And even, you know, I would say the water level here is probably the most, you know, generic looking one so far, but like even the underground, I would say like this looks, yeah, like pretty standard Mario underground areas. But again, as long as the level design is good, I'm happy, you know what I mean? And again, even this is still part of the water world, just to show you how much variety can be in one area of the game, you know. And also we have the desert area over here. We have these unique enemies. Even this, like, look at this, like this mushroom jungle place with like crazy poison in the ground. I fucking love this so much. Just everything about the game oozes style, and that's what you need more than anything in a platformer, if your level design feels stylized, you know what I mean? So we get another look at the world map. Again, we've kind of seen this before where there's wonder seeds and there's difficulties, but I think what they end up revealing in today's presentation is, yeah, the map has sort of this 3D movement, which actually, again, we did see in the first presentation as well, so nothing too crazy, but they're just saying like, hey, if you want to do levels out of order, you can do that. I also love this right here, like these are these like little challenge levels you can go to, you know. We got hurry break time, so I love stuff like this, like little challenges to keep your, you know, just keep you engaged through your journey. And obviously there's a shop there. We'll talk about the shop a little later in the presentation. And yeah, so Right here, we actually get a look at, you know, the courses, how you can see the course. We have this course right here with these rhino dudes. Here's the black and white course over here, the pipe pushing one. These are all in this area, and this is all World 1. So World 1 looks like it has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 to 8 levels. And over here, if you look where my mouse is, right, you can actually see 8 worlds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we gotta look that there are 8 worlds. I'm guessing World 8, you know, is gonna be, hey, like here's final Bowser level 3, 4 levels in there. Hopefully there's more to it, and probably like a star world of some kind. And I love, look how nice that UI is, bro. Look at that nice style, right? You select a course, right? Into the flower, to the next world. Really just well-designed UI, very beautiful, right? And again, even the way you start the levels and everything. I love the style, the speed of it all, right? And then they talk about, you know, the talking flowers, which I think are a cool feature, you know? I like this little dude going around saying his little comments. What a pretty sunset. I like that. I'm happy about that, you know. And again, just this level too, like the donuts in the background. I mean, God, I'm so happy about everything with this level, you know. Wonder if you can get over there. So I like these guys, you know, they give good hints. They're not like everywhere, and also those piranha plants are terrifying. But I love, again, how you can just interact with them, and just, again, they feel like they're just part of this world. Now let's obviously get into this next part, which I think is the most exciting part here, which is the characters, right? We have right here the biggest roster of a 2D Mario game. Now, obviously, I feel like this looks bigger than it actually is, because it really is like, you know, the 4 core gang members. You got a Toad, basically, a Toadette, and a Yoshi and a Nabbit. So, obviously, if you really boiled it down, it would be like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters, right? Which is still a lot, and I'm so happy about that. You know, I mean, I also love Toad's render up here, but I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy with how fresh this looks. I'm so happy with how expressive they all look. I'm so happy that Toadette is in there. And yeah, and then they talked to us a bit about how actually each character in the game plays the same. They actually all have the same movement. There's no Peach, you know, can float. Luigi is slippery and all that stuff. And that's for a certain reason that we'll get into again a little later in the presentation right here. So obviously, you know, we get the gang showing off their skills, beautiful looking levels, but then they end up telling us that Yoshi and Nabbit are the easy mode characters, which I actually predicted in the video early on, is that like everyone looked like they were similar. So it would make sense that Yoshi was a little bit of an easy character, because I was so confused seeing like, why is he fluttering, but you can also play as him. But yeah, so we get a look at Yoshi's. He's a bit of the easy mode, and Nabbit of course cannot get it, but it's cool that Yoshi has his flutter, and it's cool that you can pick the different color ones in there, right? So love everything about that. And then they get into some of the enemy types in the game, like these. What are these guys? Hoppy cats. So they look really cool. They follow you. These guys, they shoot these watermelon seeds at you, piranha plants. That's a reference to Yoshi's Island, because Yoshi's Island had something exactly like that. So I really love how those guys look. These con darts are really cool. So they just go ahead, you know, dart forward in the air. Nothing too crazy, but they're fun. For me, what's cool about this is just seeing fun enemy variety again. You know, like just seeing that, hey, you're gonna see cool enemies. I love this enemy that you have to unravel over here. Awesome stuff. And just even this level, like look at this level, bro. Look at the background with the wind. Oh my god, it's so nice. But the aesthetic is fucking phenomenal, right? Now this enemy is hilarious. This Mama, how it follows you. Also, look at this Toad, man. Look how happy this Toad is, bro. Love to see it, man. I love it so much. And then you got this guy, they're following you. You got these enemies that are chomping on the platforms, and of course you got the homies, the Goombas. You got the Koopa Troopas and Boos, man. I gotta give a big shout out to the Boos, looking so much more like their Super Mario World style. You know how they were kind of stylized back in the day. I love it. Very happy about that, genuinely. And of course my boy Lakitu pulling up, tossing his balls out there. That's my goat. Let me play as him, right? Let me play as my boy Lakitu. Now, power-ups, right? Obviously a big part of Mario. Not as many as I thought there would be, but I think there is a reason for that. And maybe there are a couple surprises, right? So obviously Elephant Mario, you know, being the standout of the show. Look at that. Trunk can hit platforms. He can duck. He can toss things back upwards. So I adore everything about Elephant Mario. Now I hope the movement feels good. I hope he's not like necessarily a heavy character when you're him, but he looks definitely a little heavier than obviously a regular character. And you can use the water to build more platforms. So I love stuff like that. Again, just stuff to make a power-up plentiful. And yeah, we get Luigi Elephant, and we get Toad Elephant. And then, you know, they're going to show us Peach Elephant, which, you know, I wish... I don't want to talk about it. You know, it's just... I just hate how it looks. And yeah, but we get Bubble Mario. We get Bubble Mario, which I'm not gonna lie to you. Bubble Mario, I think, is cute, but not the most creative, you know, power up. I feel like we've seen a power-ups like this in video games before, you know, so I feel like, well, it's kind of cool, it's nothing crazy, but again, like, it's fun. Like, for me, it's more of a thing of like, look how they're doing this, right? They're doing these scenarios where like you're standing and you're shooting this out, which I feel like is such a rarity. But again, you could see where it would be helpful. For example, like here, you would maybe blow this, you know, blow the bubble, right? And then you would use that to get all the way up here because you could bounce on. So stuff for platforming, I think, will be very fun, and I think I hope there's more of that with the bubble. You know, I hope there are reasons for me to use bubble to access higher platforms like they're doing here and showing off. I also like Mario's costume here. I like the pink and red. He's got cooking, and again, as you can see, he goes to a higher platform. I hope there's plenty of that, and of course, drill, my god. I always love drill powers. Whenever you have a drill power up, I'm in. You know what I mean? It's always fire. Obviously, whether it's also, what the fuck happened to this guy? Look at this dude right here. Hold up. No, look at my boy. My flower guy is trapped in here. He's probably gonna say some fuck shit if you say him. But I love this, right? So it blocks everything above you, which is super cool. I love that. You can break things under you, which is super dope. And you can go underground with it. So I feel like this is definitely one of those overpowered power-ups that I think will be very fun to mess with. Like, I'm genuinely excited. You can go even on ceilings, which is dope. Like, it's like this power-up to me is like peak creativity. I love it so much. Again, able to access different areas with it. It's fun, it's creative, and it's got a lot of aspects to it, which I love so much. And we get the Fire Flower. I love seeing Fire Flower Daisy. Love it, love it, love it. Love the charm, love the energy she's got cooking. Toadette, honestly, Toadette as the elephant is fine to me. I can live with that, you know. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And here, obviously, we can see that you have item balloons, so you can spawn, you know, one of your power-ups via balloons, which is, you know, nothing new to Mario. You can always have like an item in reserve in a lot of the recent games in there. So yeah, you got that, and of course, they then get into the wonder ability of the game, which obviously, you know, was the big hook and reveal of the first game. And they're just telling you, you know, what we all knew, which is basically, hey, you take this, the levels go crazy. You get the wonder effect, right? You just don't know what's gonna happen to the world. The pipes are gonna start moving. We've seen these rhino attacks. I'm trying to spot the new ones that we've had in there. So this one tilts the environment, which is really cool. I love that. I can't wait to see more of that. And even apparently this is a wonder effect. So I'm just curious to see, like, what happens if I don't take the wonder effect here? Do I just not do this free fall section or something else going on? But I don't know. But this I adore. I think this is beautiful, fantastic. Love these crazy bubbles. It's such a fun idea. Look at this. Luigi's like running on the wall of the cell. That's so creative. I love shit like that so much, man. It's like, this is what I live for, bro. And of course, we get the space area, which is awesome. Very reminiscent of like Mario World and obviously Galaxy in some ways. But I love the movement here. And even we have like wonder effect specific power-ups. So like here, you're a Goomba, right? So you're gonna have to move a little more slower tactically, right? Obviously here you've got the rolling power up. You know, I love this idea that there's even powers. And obviously we got the inflated Mario back from Mario World, which is such a nice little thing. I love that. Again, that's something that isn't what we haven't seen that power up in forever in Mario. So to have it back makes me very, very happy. But yeah, so that's the wonder effect they get into, and they're saying, hey, you get a wonder seed, you unlock levels, and throughout the game you get them. So that we knew. Now, next up, they get into, I think, what is one of the most exciting things of part of the game, which is the badges system. Now, this to me justifies characters not having unique movesets, because for the first time in a Mario game, you're gonna have movement perks, which is awesome. So, for example, here, they're gonna actually get into a little bit in the presentation, but basically how it works is each character gets to have a unique trait for them that you can activate. So right here, for example, you can have the parachute, which again, that's technically normally Peach's float, but again, now you can kind of just use it, right? So you get this parachute you can equip to yourself. You have this wall climb where, like, you know, you can wall jump and then just do a climb off that wall, kind of like Spider-Man. You have this dolphin kick, which I think is going to be phenomenal for water levels. And also, like, again, this kind of replaces some power-ups. So for example, like, I have this thing, which, you know, back then I would have wanted Frog Mario for, but now I'm fine with it. And here, a nice Mario 2 reference with the crouching high jump. Nice Mario 2 reference in there. you know, where you would hold that. And this is my favorite, the grappling vine. So you can go ahead and use this grappling vine and hop on certain walls. Now again, I think what I like about these two is like it's very clear that they're gonna be useful for certain levels, which is probably gonna encourage you to use a lot more of them. This is sensor, lets you detect if something is near, like a power-up or a wonder seed, or, you know, some kind of collectible coin or whatever. Coin magnet, you know, typical one. I don't know if I'd use it, but this one's really cool. Invisibility. Now, what you would use this for, I have no fucking clue, except maybe, you know, for the fun of it, but I don't know what the benefit would be of that. And of course, we can't have a Mario presentation without a little bit of Sonic brain rot in here with the jet run. So this just makes your movement faster, which I think this is the one I'm gonna have on a bunch, to be frankly honest with you. Not just because I'm Mr. Sonic, but I think I'm gonna want to, you know, blaze through a lot and have fast movement options. But I love this. I love this idea so much. It's fucking awesome. It's creative and it's fun in the best ways possible. So very happy about the perk system, very happy about Mario dying over there. And even there's even stuff like here where you can get a boost badge, right, where like, you know, you earn coins for defeating the enemies and all that stuff. So just stuff about this badge system to me is awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I think they did a fantastic job of making it feel unique and feel interesting. One thing that's also really cool is that there are badge challenges in here. So you can, for example, do these little challenges to unlock a badge. And again, that I think is more fun to me. I would rather earn the badge through playing a fun platforming level than I would, you know, just buying them. And also you can buy stuff in the shop. We now know what this currency, the wonder currency, does, and that is to buy stuff in the shop. You could buy one-ups, you could buy standees over here, you could buy this. So good to know at least what we can finally do with this. Now, they then get into the online, which is at first, you know, I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. But the more I've thought about it, the more like, okay, I like this. So obviously, you know, local co-op, everybody picks their character. Love how this looks. This is probably going to be the most ideal and best way to play this game, obviously. But again, a very difficult scenario for people, you know, during COVID times. But, you know, there's families out there, you know, there's people out there that got people around them. I also am very happy that the bubble is gone. The infamous bubble is gone, and you now turn into a little ghost, which I think is cooler. I think that's more interesting. I think that's cooler and much better than the annoying bubble where they're like, hey, baby, and they're stuck in there going crazy. So love that. Again, we get another look at this. Now, the next thing they get into, obviously, you know, you can ride the Yoshis too, even if someone else is a Yoshi, you can ride that player. And I'm guessing like you don't have control anymore. Like the player that's playing as Yoshi is the one, you know, in control. I guess you could bounce off him. And oh my god, disturbing. Poor guy. Look how sad Yoshi looks. Poor little dude. I wouldn't blame him, you know, for ending it all after all that. But yeah, so I like that actually you can still use the trunk power up though while you are riding Yoshi over. You can see you can do little trunk moves over here. Awesome. So then they get into online play. So with online play, it's interesting. So it basically is Dark Souls style. For those of you that don't know the way that works, it's kind of like you can see the ghosts of everyone playing online. You know, so you could turn on online, you just see the ghosts of people running around. And it's kind of like, again, you're just seeing them in the world. If you die, what's actually really interesting is another player that's doing the level could just help you. So I think this is a cool way for people that, you know, even don't have friends or just want some sort of online interactivity to feel like they're part of something bigger. You can emote with people. I think this is a really cute feature. I actually genuinely adore this feature. Again, would I rather that you could just play legitimately with your friends online? Yes. Now, my one worry is, again, I'm seeing here frame rate. You know what I'm saying? Like frame rate here dipping because of this online mode, which is, and it's probably the reason they didn't want to do this in the first place, right? So also they have this mechanic called standees, right? So if you die, right, it's kind of like a checkpoint, I guess you can buy, you know, and act as maybe a second player, which is really cool. So that's really cool. I really like that idea. And then look at that Toadette, bro. Look how she's standing there just watching the world. Now they then get into this system called the hard points. So you get hard points for helping people online and everything. You can give people items and all that. I don't know what that's gonna benefit in game, but hey, at least it's in the game. Now, of course, a lot of people wondering what do I do with my friends, right? Well, they kind of get into it. So you can create a room with your friends online. Actually, you can create a room with more than 4 players. I think it's up to 8 to 12 here with your friends. Now, again, you are not going through a save file together, but instead, it's sort of like you're just playing at the same time, you know, so you guys can maybe select the same level that you're playing, and you're gonna see your friends invisible, so everyone's interacting with their own world. Now, again, is this ideal? No. Would I have rather that this be just, you know, regular full online? Yes. Now, you could also do races with your friends and all this, but I think this is Nintendo's way of mitigating a lot of potential lag. You know, it's a game where everybody has their own movesets. They want people to explore these levels, you know, in unique ways. And I think the big thing it boils down to is probably Nintendo didn't want to base levels around multiplayer, because there's definitely you definitely lose something in creativity sometimes when you have to build the level around multiplayer. Whereas here, like, I think they designed these levels for a lot more, you know, well, I mean, that's kind of stupid for me to say, because you could do local co-op, but I think it's just, you know what it is, it's most likely just the online is ass, you know what I mean? They don't want this game to have clips of people showing that it's laggy as shit when people are playing, you know what I mean? So realistically, they're like, hey, this is the best middle ground to have you be able to play with your friends without, you know, your experience being compromised. But it's cool. Again, you can still travel around the game together, explore together, platform together in there. But yeah, no, and then they get into the end of the presentation. Just, again, wonderful looking game, man. Just they have nailed everything about this, man. I just want to play this, bro. I just want this right now. And the fact that we're just a month and a half away from this is insane. Also, Captain Toad spotted here. Good for him. Good for him. And I'm happy, bro. This game just makes me happy. This screenshot does not make me happy. You know what I mean? But for the most part, this game is looking phenomenal, creative, beautifully animated, and I think it's gonna be one of the best Mario games in general, you know, beyond just 2D. For me, it's like Mario World and Mario 3 are like some of the best games of all time, right? And I don't see a world where this isn't like better than those games, or like crazy, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's really it, man. I'm just so fucking excited. I'm so happy. Guys, let me know what you think about Super Mario Wonder. What is the most exciting part about the game for you? And yeah, so guys, you're the best. Thank you all for watching, and let me know. And of course, I love you. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.